but...
Can't tell it in the camera. What's up, guys? So today we're going to show you an inexpensive way to make your car look a lot better. Now, my car is white right now, all around, but a cool way to make a white car look just a little bit sleeker is to vinyl wrap the roof. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you guys how to vinyl wrap the roof. Vinyl wrap.
Gotta vinyl wrap
We're
that
gonna
roof.
vinyl wrap. We got the 3M 1080 gloss black wrap, and we're gonna show you guys how to do it on a Scion FRS. Now, on most cars, it'll probably be very similar. On the Scion FRS, it's actually gonna be a little bit more difficult than most cars because the roof has like this kind of, this thing going on. Divot, yeah.
Canyon.
So we're gonna show you guys how to remove the antenna, and then we're gonna show you guys how to wrap the roof. Hopefully it all goes well. How hard could it be?
Third time's a charm. Third
time's a charm. We've already tried this 2 other times. Let's go. So the first step to removing the antenna is going to be to remove these clips. Now there's 3 of them lining the roof, and it's a pretty simple removal. As you can see, there are 2 parts, and what you have to do is when it's inside the roof, they're connected like this. You have to remove the black part from the white part so that it opens up enough to remove. Now we do this using this tool, which is just like a car part removal tool that you could pick up anywhere. It's just a piece of plastic. But if you don't have this, you can use a flathead screwdriver. So you just put it inside, and it should separate the white from the black like that, and then you just pop it out. And so now we have one more. If it doesn't come apart like on the first entrance, like it doesn't just pop apart, it means that you probably gripped over the white part. So just remove it and then try it again to get in between the white and the black. So now that we've removed all 3, the next step is going to be to take these sides and you're just going to pull them down a little bit just to pop them free. So you're going to pull from the center right here, and you're just going to make it's just going to make a pop noise. You hear that pop? It's just a simple noise. So now on this side, just listen for the pop. Pop, and you're good. So now you have complete access to the antenna by removing this headliner. So next we're going to get a socket and we're going to remove the antenna. So the next step is going to be to use a 7/8 socket to remove the antenna. Now I'll show you guys what it'll look like. You can see right here is the little screw. So we're just going to be undoing that, and then we'll be able to move on to the next step. All right, so now once you've undone the bolt from the antenna from the bottom, there are these 2 little black clips on the side. They're pretty obvious. So from the underside of the car, you're just going to pinch them, and you should be able to pop up the antenna. Now the last thing holding it in is a white clip that has 1 part going to the antenna and 1 part going to the actual car. So you're just going to pop in the side to that, and then you'll be able to unhook the antenna, remove the antenna from the roof, and then we can actually get to the wrap. All right, so the first step of vinyl wrapping any car is going to be to remove these side rails. Now, I know at least with most cars, it's pretty similar to this. You just use like a plastic tool or something like that to lift it, and you just pop it free from the hooks. It's really simple. You just pop it. It's honestly easier than you think it would be. So now you just do that to the other side, and then we can get to washing the roof. So when you're wrapping the roof of a car, you're generally going to want to have washed the car first. I just wiped this down with water because it hasn't been very long since I washed it. So the next step is going to be, after you've washed the car, to use some quick detailer and a clay bar to clay bar the roof so that you can make the flattest and nicest surface for the vinyl to stick on. So just clay bar the roof. Pretty simple. Okay, this is the wrap. Obviously there's one side that's covered, and then there's the other side that's actually going to be showing. So we're going to start by covering the entire roof in it, like with the cover over it, this cover. We're going to spread it over the roof, and we're going to kind of trim it to the size that it's going to be on the roof, but definitely leave space on the sides. But then from there, we're going to remove this cover, set it on the roof, and we'll show you what to do from there. All right, so to begin, we laid down the wrap over the roof like I said, and now we're gonna use tape to tape down half of the roof so that we can remove the bottom part of the other half of the wrap. I think it'll be easier to show you guys and explain it, but just for now, we're gonna tape down this half of the roof and then leave this part exposed so we can remove this part. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna cut the excess. We moved most of the excess of the wrap onto this side, meaning that on the front over here, it's pretty close to where we're gonna actually end up cutting it in the end. So now we're gonna cut off this excess and set it aside so we have a more accurate idea of what we're wrapping, and also we have less wrap to deal with. From here is when we're actually gonna get to wrapping the roof. so now that we've laid the wrap down, we've tried to make it as flat as we can on this. I mean, obviously it's not gonna look perfect yet because we still need to flatten it, which brings me to the next step. In order to flatten down the vinyl, you're gonna need two things. You're gonna need this squeegee, which is kind of a special vinyl squeegee, and then you're gonna need like a can of water, just to spray water over it. And the reason for the water is because when you spray the water down, it makes it smoother going over it, like there's less bumps, it just makes it slipperier, and so that way it's just a smoother glide over. Now, when you're gonna push down the vinyl, you wanna do it at a 45-degree angle, so you're gonna have it like about there, coming towards you, and then you want to overlap the strides, meaning that if I lay the vinyl down on one part, then I'm gonna still be touching that part as I go to the next area. I'm not gonna completely skip it or anything like that. That way I get down every single part and overlap it. So let's do it. So we're gonna start with the center, and then we're gonna go to the outsides. I've read on a lot of forums that that's the best way to do it on the FRS. So like I said, we've been going over it at a 45-degree angle with the squeegee, and it's been working pretty well so far. Try your best not to pick it up and restart too many times, because the picking it up sort of like molds it and bends it a little bit, and over time, if you pick it up and reset it too many times, it may kind of deform it. So, I mean, like, it's hard, but try your best not to do that too many times. Now, another thing that's really helpful when it's your first time is this, which is a heat gun. Now, this can make or break this wrap. And the reason for that is because just the slightest amount of heat on a good wrap like this, like the 3M wraps, will straighten it out. So right here where we have all of these curves and stuff like that because of the curved roof, this makes all the difference because it'll flatten it out again. It'll heat it up and like mold it back into a flat shape. So how you do that is you hold it from two sides, meaning this side and this side. Generally when you do this, you're gonna wanna have a friend with you so that they can hold one and you can heat gun it. But you're gonna grab both sides and pull it so that it is stretched to be in a straight shape, and then you're just gonna run over it with the light setting on the heat gun, and then it'll flatten out almost immediately. Don't do too much heat gun or else you'll melt it too much. So pull it, heat gun it, and then it should flatten out, and that's gonna help you a lot. So now that we've trimmed down all of the sides of the wrap, the next and final steps are to put back the roof lining, which is really simple. You just take the pieces that you removed and push them back into the clips. Simple as that. Now the next step is actually something that requires a little bit of a technique, and all you need for that is two cards. We're gonna take the last part of the wrap and we're gonna push it down under the rubber part of the top of the glass. And that way it just kind of sits flush with the rest of the roof, and you don't kind of notice that it's there. So in order to do this, you have to trim it down pretty far. You have to get it very close, and it's pretty hard to do that without cutting it to the roof. So you just have to take a lot of time when you're doing this. All right, so now that we pretty much have done the wrap completely, there are a little bit of imperfections and stuff like that, and Mitchell's gonna show you how to get rid of them. But what I'm gonna show you now is right here is the hole for where the antenna is supposed to go. And all we need to do is take a razor and just cut a quick X into there, and now you can stick the antenna back in.
All right, so one of the things you're gonna encounter are bubbles. The way we did it, we actually surprisingly didn't have a lot of them, but you will find yourself with bubbles. They, if they're not too big, you really can just push them, try to clump it up into one bigger size, or one conglomerate bubble. Like if there are multiple around, try to push them all into one, and then you just kind of work. You just kind of push it around and work out the air. With some of the better wraps like this 3M wrap, they're porous, so if you push on them, the air just flows right out. You just want to take your time, push it from all sides so you're not creating any creases until all the air is gone. And then you're good.
So now we're gonna be replacing the antenna. It's pretty simple as far as putting everything back, just the same exact way that you got everything out. Like instead of popping these out, you push them back in to pop it back in. But one thing that I've learned that actually makes this a lot easier is when you're putting back these three little notches, remove the white part from the black part, then insert the white part in. So now that the white part's in, you just take the black part and pop it back in. It's super simple. Remove the white part from the black part And now that we've inserted the white part, insert the black part, and it's done. And it's that simple. It's over. I'm so happy that we got it. Like we said in the intro, this is our third try getting the roof wrap down. So if you're trying this at home, be prepared to potentially have to redo it a couple times. But the wrap cost us $50, and to get it redone, or to get it done professionally, it cost $300. So we did it 3 times, $150, still half the price of getting it done professionally. And it turned out almost flawlessly. It's our third try again, so we've had a little bit of practice, but we tried to show you guys the techniques that we've learned through our practices. As you can see, it's nighttime, so this took a really long time. Like, this took like a couple hours of tedious work.
2 straight hours, pretty much.
2 hours. The entire time it was just slow. So when you're doing this, make sure that you're in like a good mood and calm down. Play some chill music, because it's gonna take a while. But if you put in that time, it'll be done really nicely and look amazing.
And that really is the key, is take your time. There were multiple times where Oren, I could tell he was speeding up because we were close to getting it done, but I was just like, Oren, slow down. And I mean, you can see the product. It came out way better than I think both of us were hoping for.
Yeah, no, I kind of expected this one to fail just like the last 2, but we got it 3rd time's a charm. So make sure that you take your time, and if you need any help, leave a comment below and I'll respond with some advice. Make sure to also leave a like, subscribe to both of our channels, follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, and we'll see you guys next time. A bug just landed on my finger as I did that. What? Right here is... Can you stop? Waving around a razor blade. Okay. So, all right.